Hey guys, welcome back to Blind Streak Exotics. I'm John, and I wanted to give you a quick update on clutch number 16. This is my Urban Camo clutch. I did hit one, possibly two in the clutch, but it's sort of like a bittersweet sort of thing. Super Cinnamon is prone to kinking and some deformities, especially if the some people are saying if you keep the temperatures lower in the incubator, it could help decrease the abnormalities with the babies. Unfortunately, I got one pretty severe one that's probably not too detrimental, and the Urban Camo itself came out kind of like a runt, but it looks like it's probably going to be okay, luckily. So that's 3 out of the 13 eggs that I had. All of them hatched. The other 10 look perfectly healthy. None of them are super cinnamons, but there's a lot of babies. So this isn't going to be a clutch ID because they haven't shed yet. And the ones that look like they're don't even look like bananas. They look like they're very hard to kind of ID at this point. So I'm going to wait till they shed when the colors come in a little better. But this is sort of kind of like a sneak peek. So the parents were super pastel, black pastel, and that was the female, and the male was banana, super pastel, cinnamon, and sandblast, and 100% het pied. So everything in this clutch is super pastel because both parents are super pastel. We have black pastel, cinnamon, sandblast, and het pied all in the mix as well. So I think this is like really this is the only snake that did not get banana so there's no super cinnamon or super black pastel. A black pastel cinnamon is allelic, and that would be called an 8-ball. So this is the only snake in here that did not get cinnamon or black pastel in the combo. It looks like it's just a super pastel. So that's really the only looking plain one. Now, these don't look like bananas, but the dad was a banana, and I'm pretty sure he was a male maker. And these lighter ones, I believe, are all bananas. And I'll show you the darker ones here in a second, if I can get to them, because they're all piled up in here for sure. So these darker ones here, I believe, are the ones that are the either pewters or the sterlings or the silver streaks. I have one of the darker ones there. And let's see, this is one of the darker ones here. This one's, I think, probably sandblast, I would think, as well. And I have a third dark one. At least I thought I did. Maybe not. No, maybe I didn't. So there's only, so the odds actually did play out. So there's 13 eggs. I had 3 8-balls. 2 of those are the Urban Camos, plus this one here and this one here, which is darker, plus this one. So that's 6 of these were not banana, and 7 of them are bananas. So the odds played out that half and half, should be bananas. All these lighter looking ones are all going to be super pastel bananas with possible sandblast. These are all possible het pied. That's something I'll be able to see better if they have any markers when they shed. Plus cinnamon and black pastel in some of these bananas as well. Like I said, it's impossible to ID because if you look at these guys, they don't even look like they're banana. They're just extremely white. So I'm sure some of that color is going to pop out as soon as they shed for the first time, but they just hatched here in the last 2 days, so you are not going to be able to see really any of that banana color. And actually, I'll show you Dad real quick to see what he looks like. So he's a super pastel cinnamon sandblast het pied. He's right there. He's in with my sterling female right now. And actually, let me pull him out so he's not right under the light, because he looks like he is kind of blown out. Not a whole lot of pattern on him, just kind of up here on his neck. As you see, so he's a really pretty snake, really cool looking. The sandblast really blows out the pattern. I don't know if you can be able to see it on his head there. But the sandblast really does a cool, kind of cool thing to their pattern. But so that's what the male looks like. So he's basically a sterling sandblast het pied. So I'm sure that we hit a couple of those in here. There are a couple that look very similar to him. You know, this one has a lot more pattern in it than like this one right here. So I'm thinking those might be a little more closer to what he is. So those are the ones that are not super cinnamons. So I'm gonna put them back in here and let them. Now the other ones, I'm keeping them in a separate tub in the incubator for a little longer just to make sure they absorb all that yolk. They pipped, but they took like an extra day or two to actually even decide they even want to come out of the eggs. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, they absorbed all that and they didn't get, you know, hard belly. So I'll show you the unfortunate one first. This one, it's still alive, but you can tell that it's absolutely not going to make it. It's just completely kinked up. I'm actually surprised that it survived this long. It's been out of the egg for 3 days at this point, but its neck and spine are just completely kinked up here, which is, I hate seeing that. It's a beautiful snake. It's kind of a sad thing. You know, it's not what I'm looking to do here when I'm breeding these snakes. You know, I hate seeing it. It's one of those things where after watching, you know, these guys hatch out, I kind of decided that, you know, I'll try 1 or 2 more times to, you know, breed urban camos and try to lower the incubation temperatures to see if I can get away from hitting, you know, any of these birth defects with them, because it's, you know, you don't, even if it's alive for 2 days and it, you know, it dies because of it, I don't want to see it happen at all. I really don't want to be kind of you know, raising anything or hatching anything that looks that unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, this guy's, I'm surprised it's even still alive right now. It's still kind of hanging around and kind of hanging on for life, but you know, it's not going to survive. So the second one here that has kind of a little birth defect, which I believe to be an urban camo. It's a very low expression, but it has all the patterning. There's sort of like a little ringer right here. He has this little tiny cleft lip right there. He seems okay otherwise, came out of the egg crawling around okay, but he has that little cleft lip. He or she, oh, I guess it's probably a she. It's a beautiful snake otherwise. It should be okay. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. You know, the spine looks okay. He's moving, I'm watching it move around okay. Really pretty snake though. And this one, by the way, the one that's kinked up, it looks similar to that, but it doesn't have much pattern. So this is probably like a killer 8-ball, I would assume. Or killer 8-ball sandblast, which would be super pastel, cinnamon, black pastel. And the one that fully looks like a fully blown urban camo is this little guy right here. Now this is sort of a runt. She came out like 60 grams, and the rest of these eggs, the rest of the babies looked huge. She looks like she kind of moves around a little strange. I mean, the neck doesn't look kinked, the spine doesn't look kinked at all, but she definitely kind of doesn't move like a normal ball python. So I don't know if there's something, you know, internally you can't see as well that's wrong, or if she's just sort of weak, you know, from hatching as a runt. But she looks okay, and she is just awesome looking. A really cool looking urban camo. It's, you know, it kind of stinks because it's bittersweet that I hit an urban camo really on my first try trying to breed these out, especially because I got a 13 egg clutch, but then I got kind of a bunch of deformities and you know, sad, unfortunate, you know, birth defects in these guys. But you know, that's making sure these guys, as you can see, like she just kind of curves her body up a little strange up towards the top half. Like I said, the neck looks okay, the spine looks okay, but she definitely not, you can see that. I mean, she writes herself okay. She's crawling okay. So I'm hoping she ends up being okay too. She's definitely gonna be my a holdback, even if she's just a pet and I never end up breeding her. She's kind of like my little unicorn. Awesome looking snake though. I mean, look how cool urban camo looks. She's gonna grow up and just be like just a stunning, beautiful snake. And she's an urban camo, but she's also super pastel instead of just single gene pastel. So that's also lightens them up quite a bit, and they keep a. I think when they're super pastel, they have like a more drastic color pattern difference. You can see like these dark spots over here, but then it gets really light as well. And it makes a huge difference in the pattern of the snake. And you can even see it here on this guy. You know, you have the white pied marker and the dark splotches, and then you have this beautiful like silver color. So I think these two are gonna be okay. I'm like 75% sure this one's an urban camo. I'm definitely gonna have to do a little more research on it before I, you know, market it or sell it as an urban camo. You know, I think recently I've seen one, actually a very similar birth defect, and they sold the snake at kind of a little bit of a discount over what an urban camo sells for. I'll probably do that with this one as well, most likely. This one is 100% going to be holdback. You know, I may not hit another one of these again, or it might take me years. And this is kind of like my dream. This is really the first ball python I saw listed on Morph Market where I said I need to have one of those. I need to try to produce one of those because I wasn't going to buy one because there's a big ticket price. And it's not that it's not worth the ticket price, but to me it was one of those things where it's like I want to make that snake and I want to raise it up from hatching out of the egg and keep it as a pet and kind of show it off. I mean, it's probably going to be one of those few ball pythons that I produce that at the end of the day may get like its actual own enclosure instead of just being in a snake rack, because it's just kind of like the again like kind of a unicorn for me. So I'm hoping those two come out okay. The one that's all kinked up is definitely not going to survive, and I'm upset about it. Again, as I continue to breed these, I'm going to try a couple more times to see if I can lower the incubation temperatures and see if that has a positive effect on the snakes when they hatch and prevents any birth defects in the super cinnamons or 8 balls. But the other 10 hatchlings are perfectly fine. You know, they should shed here, you know, within the next week. So probably by close to the end of September, then we'll start getting them on food. And they're going to be cool. I mean, there's snakes that are basically, they're all super pastel. There's bananas in there. There are black pastels, there's cinnamons, there's sandblasts, and there are het pieds. There are possible het pieds. So there's a lot going on. It's a really cool clutch, really big things. And I hit an urban camo on my first try, and I'm really hoping that she is healthy and survives, because the clutch was already bittersweet because of the birth defects. If I hit an urban camo on my first try and she doesn't survive because of that, you know, it's kind of unfortunate, I guess, is the way to put it. So I'll keep you guys updated on them, and that's it for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. We'll see you next time.